them, and it actually
physically separated. Oh.
So that would be great separate the curb, 12 centimeters of the level separation between cars.
How many
and the bike.
centimeters?
12 between cars and bikes, and then 5 between pedestrians and cyclists. That's the common measurement that we use here for the separation. 12, so that people in cars don't feel the temptation to drive onto the cycle track. They still do, but it's the 12 centimeters doesn't allow for smaller cars to even do it.
Is it then like this?
It depends on the profile of the street and where the drainage is, but we try to have it slanted towards the street, because that makes better drainage. But in some places that would mean that the sidewalk would rise really high up.
The drainage. I think you're
better for
talking about shallow
cyclists.
curves.
Yeah.
The shallow curves in order to prevent forgiving
infrastructure. Forgiving infrastructure.
Yeah, and if
you drive over it,
you don't get killed.
You will probably end up on the driveway, but not in the hospital.
Yeah.
when you do that, is it a square?
Or you were talking about
that's like this,
or
is
it's
it cut?
Like this is
Yeah,
concrete.
it's cut.
Well, we don't
do
go
concrete.
Well, that's what you were talking about, the curb between the sidewalk and the cycle track. So our standard practice is to have a really sharp curb there.
Yeah.
We want to really emphasize the separation because people are not used to it. But there is talks on using the forgiving curb, like you saw at the Erottaja Square at the end of the Esplanade. There we have used the forgiving curb because we know that people will be coming off of the cycle track to park their bicycles in many spots.
What's the width of the cycling lane?
Well, it's a cycle track or cycle path,
yeah.
and that path. What we always strive for is 2.5 meters.
That's good.
Minimum width for a physically separate. Yeah. If it's bi-directional, then if it's a main cycle path, the minimum is the absolute minimum is 2.5, but we go for 3. If it's a bicycle superhighway, then bare minimum is 3.5. And if I said it wrong, he'll correct me. He's the one who's been working with the. Thank you. Quality assurance. But yeah, if this were to be planned now, it would definitely be physically separated. Forgiving curbs is still, we don't have a clear stance on it, but we have actually preferred to use it if it's a really narrow cycle path, for example, if you know it's going to be a lot of stopping at the on-street services where people on bikes as well want to go to.